Spanish era. That being said, Spanish colonial reasons were not purely economic. At first, the Spanish saw the Philippines as a stepping stone to the prosperity of Eastern Indies. However, even after the Portuguese and the Netherlands foreclosed the prospect, the Spanish continued to retain their presence in the archipelago. Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese navigator and explorer, led the first Spanish voyage when he landed at Cebu in March 1521. Shortly afterward, he met an untimely death on the nearby island of Mactan. Friars marched with troops and soon made official conversion of all local under the Spanish government to Roman Catholicism. Spanish rule for the first 100 years was exercised in most areas, but abusive treatment of the local tribute payers and neglect of religious instruction by encomenders caused the Spanish to abandon the system by the end of the 17th century.
Manila's central government maintained a feudal caste until the 19th century, and the governor-general was so influential that he was frequently compared to an independent ruler.
The Audiencia, or the High Court, was the Captain General of the Armed Forces, and he enjoyed the luxury of dealing for private benefit. Not only did Manila control the island as the national capital, the galleon exchange with Acapulco, Mexico, also guaranteed Manila's economic primacy. The trading of Chinese silks for Mexican silver not only held in Manila some Spaniards looking for easy income, but also attracted a large Chinese population. The Chinese, despite being victims of occasional massacres at the hands of suspected Spanish, persisted and quickly became influential in trade that has survived over the centuries. In August 1896, the Spanish payas unearthed of Katipunan plans, and their leaders were pushed into excessive intervention. Rebellion spread out in a number of towns around Manila. After years of civil war, intense Spanish reaction compelled the Revolutionary Army to withdraw to the hills. A treaty with the Spanish was signed in December 1897. Emilio Aguinaldo, municipality mayor and rebel commander, was paid a significant amount and allowed to travel to Hong Kong with other leaders. The Spanish pledged amendments as well, but the amendments were late in coming, and minor guerrilla groups, deeply suspicious of Spanish assurances, held their weapons in check. Battles were more intense. In the meantime, the violence broke out between Spain and the United States, and after American naval victory at the Battle of Manila Bay in May 1898, Aguinaldo and his companions left the Philippines with the support of Admiral George Dewey. Confident of U.S. assistance, Aguinaldo recognized his troops and quickly liberated several cities south of Manila. Independence was proclaimed on September 12. A constitutional association was established in Malolos to set up an essential legislation based on European and Latin American judicial precedent. The Constitution was based on the concept of the Constitution in January 1899, with Aguinaldo as president of the pledging country, better known as the Malolos government.
Japanese era.
Second Republic of the Philippines, formally recognized as the Republic of the Philippines, and also known as the Republic of the Philippines of Japan, was a colonial state developed during the invasions on October 14, 1943.
Manuel L. Quezon proclaimed the national capital of Manila a free city during the Japanese attack of the Philippines. Prior to the creation of the Preparatory Committee, the Japanese had the choice of placing the Philippines under the tyranny of Artemio Ricarte. Prime Minister Hideki Toho vowed to restore democracy to the Philippines as part of his propaganda of Pan-Asianism on his first visit to the Philippines on May 6, 1943.
On June 19, 1943, upon the recommendation of the Commander-in-Chief of Imperial Japanese Forces in the Philippines, a special national convention of the Calibapit chose 20 prominent Filipinos to form the Preparatory Commission for Philippines, which in less than 3 months completed work in a constitution.
From November 5 to 6, 1943 in Tokyo, the Greater East Asia Conference was an intercontinental meeting in which Japan convened the world leaders of distinct morphological members of the Greater East Asia, Copper Verde Sphere. The occurrence was often referred to as the Conference of Tokyo. The conference discussed a few substantive concerns but planned from the beginning as a propaganda display piece to highlight the devotion of the Empire of Japan to the ideal of Pan-Asianism and to stress its position as the liberator of Western colonialism in Asia.
Laurel was met with numerous issues during his time as the president that the state was enduring. He organized an association to allocate rice, giving preference to food shortages, even though much of the rice was seized by Japanese soldiers. One of them of many areas that suffered from extreme shortages was Manila, largely due to a typhoon that hit the country in November 1943. The individuals were required to plant a private parcel that developed root crops such as kangkong. In order to increase the country's rice supply, the Japanese brought in the increasingly ripening Horai rice, which was first used in Taiwan. By 1943, Horai rice was supposed to make the Philippines self-sufficient in rice, but rain stopped this from occurring during 1942.
Post-war era to present. The Constitution of 1935 came back into effect upon the independence of the Philippines in 1945. The Constitution remained fairly stable until 1947, when by Commonwealth Act No. 733, the Philippine Congress asked for its reform. The parity amendments granted U.S. residents equal rights with Filipino citizens on March 11, 1947. To establish natural resources in the nation and run public utilities. Subsequently, until the declaration of martial law on September 23, 1972, the Constitution remained the same. On 11, 1987, President Aquino, by means of Decree No. 58, proclaimed the formal review of the outcome and the adoption of the draft Constitution.